Good morning, everyone. I'm Larry Moss, the owner of and president of Azimuth Consulting, and welcome to our Monday morning checkup. So, as you know, was posting a series of informational videos and just testing the waters to see how you accepted them, how they resonated with you. And then I asked the question, what would be better, these daily videos or maybe a weekly deeper dive into the subject matter? I asked, you spoke, I listened. So we're going to start a once a week deep dive. Now, when I say deep dive, I don't mean long lecture. It's probably only going to be about no more than 5 minutes because your time is important to you. Therefore, it's important to me. But subject matter that we're going to be talking about is also important. So, what we're going to be talking about in the next few videos is actually a 10-part series on your organizational health. Okay. And how do leaders respond to that and what do they need to pay attention to? And what do I mean by organizational health? So, let me ask you a question, right? You go to the doctor. What is the first thing they normally do in a doctor's office? They check your vitals, right? Temperature, blood pressure, pulse, uh, you know, and some other things that they check your eyes, everything that those preliminary before they even talk about why'd you come in today. So you see, your organization also has vitals. And you may feel fine, your organization may feel fine, but things may be a little heavier than they used to be. That's a vital sign. So, for example, we've all heard that type 2 diabetes is the silent killer. Why is it the silent killer? Because you can have it for decades and never feel the effects of it until one day you're having fatty liver disease. Your kidneys could be impacted, other organs could be impacted, your heart. So it's important to see it early so you can do something about it. That's the same thing with your organizational health. A lot of times we as leaders, we look at what we call lagging indicators. Those are the outcomes, things like turnover, missed goals, morale. But what vitals are leading indicators because they shift first and often quietly, just like the diabetes I mentioned. So, what this series is going to do is we're going to focus on 6 warning signs or vitals that we need to pay attention to. And we'll also provide what you can do about those things in order to prevent them from becoming an unhealthy outcome. So each week we'll start with a micro story. Nothing's broken, but all decisions stall. Conflict goes underground, and your best people look tired. All right. But what were the indicators for that? And we'll close with what it actually means in your organization. So if you're only tracking results, then think of it as you're only measuring the fever, not the infection. Okay. Your vitals are the conditions that make performance possible. Your decision health, your trust, your clarity, your standards, your capacity, among other things. And the problem that we see today is most dashboards are only measuring the conditions, don't measure the conditions, but only measure the output. So when we see failure to reach goals, sales goals, we see people leaving an organization. Well, those are results of a deeper problem. Okay. And think of it this way: busy is not a vital sign, but often it's the masking agent of something that's wrong. So here's the framework we're going to go over. We're going to talk about the vitals. What are the behaviors associated with that? And what are the outcomes that usually happen if left unattended? And then we're going to ask you to go back after each week and choose how and rate your vital sign in your organization. Talk to your team to see what's really true. And remember, we're talking vitals versus metrics. We want leaders to stop treating the symptoms and go right to the problem and address the problem. So we're going to kick this off hard and heavy next week. And what is the first vital we're going to be looking at? We're going to be looking at decision making. How are decisions being made in your organization? Are they clear? Is there a process? Does everybody know how the decisions are made? And how does it impact the organization? So I look forward to talking to you next week on Monday Morning Azimuth Check as we discuss your organizational health.